Hey everybody, it's Mr. P, and I am here with Miss Nichols. Miss
Woo!
Nichols.
I'm here with Mr. P. Hi, friend.
This is amazing. Hi,
I
friendo.
know.
How do you
So
say
excited.
friend in Spanish? It's amigo.
Amigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably won't be the first time I ask you if I'm
You
saying
go.
something correctly.
Yeah, you ask away. That's what I'm here for.
And if you just want to start speaking in Spanish, I'll just keep shaking my head.
Si es
Like I know what you're
posible
talking about.
que vaya a pasar, sí.
Yes. See.
¿Eres payaso? ¿Payaso? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
Nothing. It's okay. You do have a son that you can test him later,
He's not the one to ask. I think we both know that. I start off every interview with the same question. Could you tell us what you had for dinner last night?
Which always makes me laugh for so many reasons. I love this question. So for me last night, I didn't actually make this, but I had a homemade lasagna.
Oh.
So a really nice thing that's been happening is, I don't know if anyone knows out there, but I was waitressing for a long time on the weekend at a lovely restaurant. And, they're not open right now. And they're the cutest couple. And they're so sad to not be cooking for people that they've been making personal meals for all the waitresses.
You have an individual ability to select from a menu from chefs at a restaurant. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And it's a wonderful gift, I have to say, especially on, nights where do you want to come pick up polenta and sausage?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to cook anymore.
This interview could take a major left turn right now.
I know.
I'm resisting the urge to ask you what you've had for dinner for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. I've made a lot of my own, I have to say. I have to give myself a little bit of credit, but they have made many, many choice meals. Lasagna, some bean soup.
That's fantastic.
Pesto with tortellone.
Just to fast forward, today is Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, Feliz Cinco de Mayo.
Are you, it sounds like these are Italian cooks of Italian food primarily, right?
Yes, Italian food, Italian restaurant. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to have, Mexican tonight?
So I would love to. It would mean I'd have to go out shopping because I have to be honest. I don't know what day it is most days anymore.
I keep saying I should ask that question to every single person. Instead of the dinner question, that should be the lead-off question. Do you know what day it is? And just make people totally uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, well, all day yesterday I thought it was Tuesday. So for most of the day, I have to admit. And then
you just have to keep telling yourself you have a 1 in 7 shot.
A 1 in 7 shot. Yeah.
Right. So every day is Tuesday. Is it? You're going to eventually be right.
It's like Groundhog Day. Every day, I don't really know. It's just the same day.
I hear you.
Every day. Yeah. So I'd have to go out and get some. Actually, I do have. I could put something together. I could make like a chicken taco.
Yeah.
I could like a shredded chicken taco. I have. Chicken.
You got to have rice somewhere in the house, I
do have rice.
Yeah.
And I have lots of seasoning, so I could put something together. We'll see how it goes, but it would probably be like a shredded chicken taco.
Lovely.
Fries.
Man, I wish we weren't so far apart right now.
I know. Next time, if I get a special pickup,
let me know.
I'll let you know.
Let me know.
Get an extra one for you.
Thank you.
Make a personal delivery on your step. Just put a little bag and
Yeah, right. I would appreciate that whenever you want.
Done.
Thank you.
I'm serious. Next time, I'm going to surprise you.
You know where I live anytime.
I do.
Anytime. Do you want to know? You don't have to, but do you want to know what I had?
I of course I do. I need to know.
I mean, in comparison to your lasagna and your cooks that are helping you, you get a personalized menu. I had Sloppy Joe.
I actually love Sloppy Joes. I do. It reminds me of childhood so much.
Well, it's funny because my kids love it. They love it. And
Do you not?
No.
You're not a fan.
Ground meat in a ketchup sauce on a cheap hamburger roll? You got to be kidding me. I'm a grown man. with frozen French fries? We open the French fry bag and just dump it on the pan and put it in the oven. And the kids come running. They're running. Wow, they're skipping into the kitchen. And I'm just like, I got to put on a good face for this.
Processed food here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It was awful.
I don't know, there's something nostalgic about it.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to eat.
Cozy. It's like a cozy family meal.
It's hearty and it's filling.
It's filling. There's plenty of leftovers. You know, you can just tell them, go make a sloppy Joe from last night. I'm not making anything.
I give it to the dog. We give it to the dog. Ground meat. I'm a grown man.
Are you?
Yeah, that's debatable. That's debatable. I was wondering if you could share with us how things are going. How's life?
Yeah. You know, to keep from getting a little cabin fever, and I know like we can go outside, but I've been trying to really do my part with staying in and not really risking it and, you know, heading outside too much. So I try and stay inside, and I've been just doing a lot of exercising, a lot of yoga.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of yoga. My arms are getting like jacked.
I look at wow. Holy smokes.
Yep, a lot of conversion techniques, so a lot of arm strength.
Are you using like an app on your phone or a video or some streaming, or are you just doing it on your own?
So when I work out, I have my own cardio routine, and I do have an app. I think it's called Better Me, and it can, you know, you can decide what you want to do in that routine. But for the most part, I just kind of do like cardio stuff. And then for the yoga, there's a free Amazon Prime show that you can watch, and it's like 30 days of yoga to a new you or something. And I always just kind of go through each of those 30 episodes. Okay. I really like the girl that does the class. I guess you would call it class. And yeah, so I just kind of rotate through. But
wow,
yeah, so
that's
trying
fantastic.
to be healthy.
You look great.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
How about me? How do I look?
You look wonderful. I like the facial hair.
Yep. I have a quick story about the facial hair. I may have said this already. I didn't shave once we went home. I was doing a Letterman beard, in case you can't tell. Right?
Oh, yeah.
This is all see-through. And I shaved one night. My wife was like kind of giving me a hard time, and so I shaved. And then when the next time I like appeared, she was like, you shaved? And I said, well, I thought you wanted me to. And she was like, well, you know, I still can't get a straight answer. I mean, so this is the best I got.
It was growing on her. Well, I think this is
growing on her. I see what you did there.
I am known to be quite funny sometimes.
Listen, go ahead. What?
No, I was just saying you should grow the beard.
This is it. This is quarantine. This is as much as I got. It's this and my eyebrows. I wear my hat down low because my eyebrows are like longer than my beard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I'm like Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eugene Levy, are you watching Schitt's Creek?
I just don't know the last time someone mentioned Eugene Levy. So, you know, on the cuff or off the cuff.
I'm just looking for reasons to insert Eugene Levy in the everyday conversation.
You should once a day see what you can do with
that. Just mention him. Yeah. Like, do you know? Question 1 would be, what day of the week is it? Question 2 would be, what's your favorite Eugene Levy movie? And question 3 would be, what did you have for dinner? Ooh, I could just do a whole nonsense interview, much like this.
Mine is A Mighty Wind.
A Mighty Wind. Fantastic. Yes. I would say Best in Show.
Oh, God, that's really funny, too. All of those are really funny. But yeah, Mighty Wind is so odd.
Yeah. I love his sense of humor. Yeah.
Me too.
Have you watched Schitt's Creek?
No, I haven't. So what's the gist of
the gist is it's a family of these sort of like upper class New Yorkers that get dumped into this town of, you know, local yokels, and Chris Elliott is in it. It's got a great cast. Catherine O'Hara. And so Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara have these 2 children, and they're all about like they have high class tastes and they wear fancy clothes, but they're in this very hick type town and
Okay.
how they get by. That's the gist.
Okay. And you
And
can't
it's
tell me
fun.
why, right? Like why they've moved there. Is that part of the reveal of watching the show?
I
would imagine.
forget. I think that it starts off with they bought this town, or they ended up in possession of this town called
Okay.
Schitt's Creek, and they end up trying to embrace life there. But it's a kind of got like a Curb Your Enthusiasm-esque, like nothing ever works
Okay.
out in their favor.
Yeah.
Every time they try and escape the like island of the town, like Gilligan's Island, something prevents them from truly getting back to their Upper East Side apartment in New York City type thing. You
Okay.
know, that's the gist.
I do love those two actors. So
They're great. Catherine
yeah.
O'Hara is fantastic.
She's hilarious. They're
Catherine,
both
tweet me. Tweet me. Hashtag. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't know either. What are these words? We need a young person.
We've gone delirious. How many weeks does it take for staff to go crazy? What are we up to?
We're in week 8 because that's what I title all of my work. So I know what week we're on. Yeah.
Week 8.
So week 8. We're in week 8 right now.
Talk about how school's going then. 8 weeks of virtual learning.
8
Challenges,
weeks.
the pros, the cons, the good, the bad.
So I'd say most of it is really good. And like I use Google Meet. I've kind of tiered it to, I just basically ask the kids, when do you want to meet? Is today good? Tomorrow? You let me know. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And we kind of base it around that. And I don't think it's terrible. Like I said, it has its good moments, and we have like conversations and discussions all in Spanish. So it's still happening even though we're not together. But yeah, it's a little tricky trying to get everyone to give me all their work.
I got you.
So if you guys out there.
Yeah, go ahead. This is your, what would you say to the students? Is that a big problem, getting students to stay on target with deadlines and things like that?
Yeah, I would, but I think it depends on the age of the student. So like my older students seem to be doing phenomenally well. Because honestly, if you think about what we're doing, this is very college-centered stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
there's so many college courses online already before any of this. So it's, it's a very independent learning, even though, we teachers are still here, and it's more active and live versus a college course, because those are usually just videos. Maybe once every week or 2 weeks, you might get a professor live.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this is a very like grown-up style of learning. So I think my younger kids, they're getting better and better each week, but I think it's a lot for them to be so organized with, what do they have? 5 or 6 different classes, keeping all of that organized somehow, whether it's, a piece of paper with a to-do list, using a calendar, or like their phone to put in due dates. I have no idea how they're doing it, but
I could tell you just from observing Nate, my freshman, that we've struggled with that a little bit too. I mean, younger kids, or younger in high school anyway, tend to, from my experience, tend to have this attitude of, tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to put in the absolute minimum to check that box, so I could move on to things that I would rather be doing. Whereas I think older students understand the idea of comprehension, and they want to genuinely learn the material. And
a lot of them are going to college soon.
Yeah, so they're more invested in it.
Yeah, and they've gone through that freshman routine too.
That's true. They've probably stumbled out of the gates
from it. So they're sort of through all, the natural transitions you make from grade to grade. So, these poor guys, well, I'm still stern about the work, but also these poor guys, like, they haven't had the full year under their belt at high school yet. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, bye, we're online now.
Good luck.
I've
told a couple students that, man, I hope against hope that we're not going to be dealing with this in September. But if we are, or some adaptation of it, then, I would expect that the standard that we hold the students to is going to be a lot higher. Would you agree with that?
I think so, because we'll have more time. We'll have more time to process this and plan. Yeah. I mean, of course, you know, during the summertime, principals and administrators will have thought about what that could look like in the fall, and they're going to have an entire summer to get that ready to go. And I
You're
think,
right.
it'll be more of that expectation that you mentioned.
Right.
Yeah. Like, okay, we've had our time to, you know, we were thrown into this, figure it out, but now there's time to figure it out. So, yeah.
What's your emotional state now that just yesterday, I think we heard from the governor of New Jersey that schools aren't going to reopen? How are you processing that?
So I think it's two different sides to the coin here, where one, it almost seems like, okay, that's probably, I mean, it's the best plan we have right now. It's for safety reasons, honestly. You know, we need to make sure that we keep the bigger picture in mind of keeping all of our loved ones safe. So I think that is the right call. And at the same time too, you know, to go back to school at this moment of being out for so many weeks, it's almost like we've been on a summer break, but work is still happening, and to go back into the classroom so suddenly, I don't know what that transition would be like. So I have to admit, I was a little scared of what that would be to be in the classroom again and still have these 4 or 5 weeks left. But at the same time, I'm upset because I miss my students, and I feel so sad. Like, my heart breaks for my seniors, who just about every time we do a virtual meet and it's the seniors, somebody would always be asking, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Like, do you think we'll have senior trip? Do you think we'll have prom? And of course, along the way, we've watched where we are now, that some of those things can't happen.
In school, they can go from classroom to classroom and ask you what you think, and, you know, or a different scenario. But
yes, exactly.
They would have so much more information at their disposal because they're in touch with so many more teachers. And it's amazing how that feeling of, not trying to be corny about it, but that feeling of being disconnected has, I think they're hanging on every word you're giving them. What do you think? What do you think? And whatever you're giving them, they're genuinely listening to and processing. And
it's true.
It's like bittersweet, you know, because we don't, up to this point, we hadn't had answers. You know, even my own kids and the students that I'm in touch with are saying, what's going to happen? Have you heard anything? And this is one time where this is one time where you say, I don't know. And they say, but come on, really, what do you know? I don't know anything. You hear what I'm going to hear it from the governor's mouth at the same time as you do. You know?
We'll all find out together. But there's no secret anything. It's one of those actual moments of a true I don't know. Because we've never dealt with anything quite like this before. So
what do you think makes what do you miss most about school, or what do you think makes Pitman such a special place to work?
Well, I mean, I feel like you lose a little bit of your pizzazz and your personality when you're not just with your class in your classroom. Like, I usually have music playing, you know, we're dancing around, we're moving about, we have all these activities, and I don't have that right now. You know, I can't do any of that stuff that makes my class unique or me. Like, I've lost a portion of who I am, I think. I mean, as teachers, I think we really identify.
It's how we define ourselves. Sure.
So now it's, you know, reduced down to, you know, me on camera, and I might look presentable today, but most days I have like my hair shoved into my yellow like snow hat, and you know, I'm in a sweatshirt, and we're all kind of looking the same, but you know, I lose my
you don't have to explain to me.
So like, this was great. I'm like, I'm gonna do my hair today. Where's my makeup? I don't even know where that is. I feel like you lose a little bit of who you are, you know, like I said. So it makes it impossible to run a class like I normally would. So all the things that my kids are used to, you know, I found ways through, you know, Google Meet to present my screen and have, you know, these different online games that we would play, stream through that, and we can still kind of do it. But then it's like, who can come to that class? And,
Oh,
you know,
man. Yeah, we miss it. It's funny. And it's
Yeah.
coming across. You miss doing all those things, and
Right.
you're
Like all the fun things that we would do in school that were unrelated to teaching.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
totally
like
get that.
Madam Cunningham and I are just like, how do we do anything? Like, how
Right.
do we do nice things? We can't, it's really
The
hard.
teaching is for lack of a better way to put it, a drug. I mean,
Yeah.
we get, a rush
Feed
from
off
it.
each other too, I
Yeah,
think, you know?
and not being able to get that in the same way is hard, and I think even
Yes.
me doing this with staff and students is a way. It's connection, but it's
Yeah.
also, I miss we miss the interaction,
I know, like that quick, like, all right, it's second period, I'm off, I'm walking past the media center, I see you, and we talk about some music we just heard
Yeah.
or some funny thing we just saw, and only the two of us saw it.
You and I spend more time with each other on a daily basis
Yeah.
from September to June than I do with almost anybody else in my life,
Right.
and boom, it's one day we're brought into the media center for a faculty meeting and we're told, gather your stuff and
Yes.
good luck.
Yes. Grab whatever you think you need.
Just grab it.
I'm running in the cafeteria and asking for old boxes, and I'm throwing like anything I can into these boxes.
Even now, there's things that I have in school that I'm like, I kind of could use that.
Player,
yeah.
I brought my record player in, and it's locked in my closet, and I wasn't thinking about that closet when I was gathering files and my laptops and oh, do I have that charger? And then of course I go home and I'm like, my record player. No,
dang it.
I can't listen to a single record. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also just waiting, when can we get back in there so I can get this record player?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. Well, I don't know. You said you saw Mr. Hopley's. Are you familiar with the bowl question in these interviews that I'm doing?
Oh, so yeah, I saw Michael Franchi do.
Oh yeah.
One of those.
I'm sorry, Michael Franchi, you said.
Yeah, but I did see that you posted that you interviewed Mr. Hopley.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just for the audience, I have 2 bowls with questions in each. One, I have my bowls mixed. Well, it doesn't matter. One bowl. I'm such a creature of habit. I've mixed up the bowls. This bowl is the Mr. P questions. All right, trivia. And this bowl is well-known Dewey Decimal numbers. I'm going to let you pick a question from a bowl of your choice, and if you get it right, I am going to buy you, on a future date of your choosing, any all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
Yes.
I mean, it's all you can eat. All you can eat. All right.
I've been annoyed for years because I've missed out on Chinese buffet for 3 years now.
We're gonna make it work.
All my friends go eat Chinese buffet except me.
Well, or I'll get you a doggy bag. If you can't make it, I'll bring you back some chow mein.
You said Dewey Decimal numbers?
Yeah, well-known Dewey Decimal numbers or Mr. P trivia.
I'm gonna go with Mr. P trivia because I don't get the Dewey Decimal numbers.
Okay. I mean, why would you? You're not a professional media specialist. I don't know Spanish. You don't give me a hard time.
You made me choke on my chamomile tea.
It would have been funny if you did a spit take, right to the lens. And
then
right over my that's phone. It. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the question out of the bowl. Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to pick. Here we go.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm glad you're here.
Can't wait. Yeah, I'm glad too. I'm so glad to see you.
I just want to apologize for this question. You're going to not like it and you're going to hate me for even asking it. All right. I can't think of a question that you would have less interest in knowing or answering.
It's sports. Throw it away.
It's sports. You want me to pick another one?
Yeah. Do I even want to know?
No, I'm going to pick another one.
I think you know me well enough.
That's not fair. I mean, I'm not trying to get people angry. The point of this is not anger. Yeah.
Please don't ask me anything about sports.
All right. How about Disney rides? Disney? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
I'm so all right. Those are 2 that just.
All right. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. You can do this one. This is a good one. Tell me any one of 5 celebrities people tell me I look like.
Oh, okay. Am I supposed to pick 5 or just
You
one?
could get any one of 5.
Oh my God.
There's
Okay.
5 common celebrities that people say I look like or remind them of.
Ed Helms.
Ed
No?
Helms.
Yeah,
That's a
I always
good
think
one.
when I watch The Office, I'm just like, there's Pat.
Ed Helms is not on this, but I'm going to give you, that's such a good answer that I'm going to give you another shot. What
Okay.
after Ed Helms? Ed Helms.
I always say that. Okay.
You do.
Oh, this is so hard. And I know I know this answer deep down inside somewhere, and that's what's annoying me.
Wait till you hear these.
Oh, it's gonna bother me.
All right. I'm going to
Wait,
buy you.
can you say TV or movie at least?
TV, and movies. So a little bit of both.
Anthony Bourdain.
No, but that's a good one too.
Oh, man!
Maybe we could do a future interview where we just talk about celebrities that I could possibly look like.
Yeah, these are.
I'm going to give you the answers because, you know, I'm such a Miss Nichols fan. I'm going to buy you that Chinese buffet regardless.
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
You think I'm letting anybody else have a second shot or a third crack at that bowl?
Yeah, I know.
What you pick is what you get, but I'm a fan. So you got this one. All right, here we go.
I need to know. Yeah, I need to know.
5 celebrities that I look like.
Okay.
Coming in at number 5, Steve-O.
Steve-O. Okay. I forgot that guy existed. Okay.
You laugh, so you think I do look like him, and he's, you know,
I forget that he's a celebrity, and then I laugh. I see it a little bit.
4, Andy Cohen. All right. 3, Ross from Friends, otherwise known as David Schwimmer.
Ross, really? Yeah. I don't see that.
All right. Well, the people have spoken. You know, I don't
that's true. Who are these people? But go ahead, keep going.
My mom and some friends.
Gotta always go with what your mom says.
Yeah. 2, George Clooney.
You know, I was gonna say that, but I went with my 2. Yeah, I went with 2 that are not the answer.
That's fine. And 1, I don't know who this person is, but my wife Melissa insisted.
Okay.
Jason Momoa. He's
Wait,
Aquaman.
From Game of Thrones?
Huh? Yeah, Game of Thrones. Khal Drogo.
Yeah, Khal Drogo. Wait,
you know, like I said, I don't argue with what the people say.
Nicely done, Mr. P.
Thank you. Listen.
I know that name. Am I not thinking of the right person? I mean, you're totally
Khal Drogo, and otherwise an Aquaman, depending on your
my moon and my stars.
Right, exactly.
Sun and my stars, yeah.
You know, looking at my questions, I see a question here. I want to just get in while I can.
Oh yeah.
What would you say is the best part of being my friend? And if you don't consider us friends, then my colleague.
Of course, you're my friend.
You're my friend.
The best friend.
You're my best friend.
Cookie?
I mean, where do you think this stuff comes from? Where does this come from, this idea? You know?
Oh my God.
I like making you laugh. I like seeing you smile.
What was your question? I totally missed it. Why are we friends?
Well, what is the best part about being my friend? Or you can also change it to colleague.
No. Well, like, I think it's all in one. We're friends. Best part. Well, you crack me up always. I'm always laughing. Yeah.
I'm so darn humble.
You're so humble, and that's another reason why.
Thank you.
You're funny, and you're so humble.
Thank you. And I find you to be smart and funny and beautiful and all those things.
Oh my God, tell me more.
I'm blushing, everyone. This is a blush. Woo!
Because it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. Before I let you go, in all seriousness, bringing it back, is there anything you would like to say to your students or the student body at the high school or anyone out there who might be watching?
Well, I guess, to everyone, but, I'm going to focus on the kids right now too. That, guys, I know it's really hard right now to be at home, and we obviously all miss being together. And specifically, while I'm thinking of everyone, I have to think about my seniors. So I know you guys are very bummed out about, you know, the end of your senior year not coming to maybe what you had always thought it would be.
Yeah.
But try and remain a little hopeful and keep your perspective with, is my family healthy and okay? Am I healthy and okay? And we'll eventually come out of this stronger, maybe even a little bit, you know, maybe we've grown during this time, and try and find those positive moments while we're in quarantine and not together.
I think that's awesome. And I totally agree with you. You have to find a way to gain some enlightenment through this experience. And
Yeah.
if you haven't, then you're not doing it right, you know?
Yes. And it can be hard, but yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
important. Whatever those little details are, to focus on those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Nichols, it was wonderful seeing you.
It
I
was so good
so
to see
appreciate
you.
you doing this on Cinco
Thanks
de
for
Mayo. I
inviting
just
me.
picture
Yes.
you, I kind of half expected you to be like frying up some, you know, food and maybe
Like
a
a cooking
margarita
show.
in hand, but you know, I'm assuming that's just off camera.
Yeah, and I actually didn't know it was Cinco de Mayo today. I have to be honest with you. When you were like, "Do you want to do this at Cinco de Mayo?" I'm like, "Oh, it's
Wow.
May."
Yeah.
It's May. It's not April. I keep forgetting. Yeah.
And
So
you've just summed up in a nutshell many of our collective experiences, I think.
right. Yeah, I think
We need Cinco de Mayo on the calendar as a line of demarcation to tell us where we are in life.
yes. So we
You
are
know,
now in May. It's
we're in
what it
May.
tells
We're
us.
in May.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you go, but I am grateful that you did this. I miss you. I hope you stay safe. And
I miss you too. Stay safe. Do some fun things.
thank you. Okay. I will try to do that. Yes.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye, guys.